This is the fantasy we have about decision making. Here we are, new topic, we're all proceeding along, skipping along, all the whole time, all together in unison at the same time, same pace, everything else. Isn't that? And then we get to decision point. This is a lie. This is not how decision making works. As beautiful as it looks on the graphic, we go off on tangents. People get concerned. Some people are stepping back. Some people are willing to charge right ahead. What I want to talk to you about is what decision making really looks like. And it's a mess. And it's a beautiful mess. And it's a better way of getting there. If you want, this book is awesome to talk about how participating, making decisions. So it's a Diamond of Participatory Decision Making. And they really say, you know what? That little fantasy you have, it's not there. Chances are when you're making your decision, especially the more important the decision, so we'll pick on the build a fire hall one, is like you said, overall, it was, you had the information out there, you had all the reasons going for it, and then divergence of opinion. Some people think this, some people think that, others are going back going, I don't think we have enough information. Some people are going, yeah, we do. You are going to be spending time in the groan zone, where you are trying to work through all these different concerns, where they're all fitting, and trying to figure out how are we going to pull this together before you get convergence and actually get to a closure zone. When your decisions are not easy, they're going to be messy. And that's okay. That's a normal part of the process. Maybe you have to change up the ways in which you're going to be doing it, but it's okay to have a process that may not that you've got to bring people along together and recognize those different points of view. And the bigger the impact that decision has on people, the more likely you're going to have a decision-making process like this, where there's divergence before you get agreement. Why do people agree? Yeah, the lie I tell myself is because it's the right thing to do. The reality is yeah, there's a whole bunch of reasons people agree, and it's not because they think it's the right thing to do. Go along to get along. Want to preserve the relationship. I don't want to be the one who upsets the apple cart, causes all this kind of trouble. Bottom line, I'm just hungry. Feed me. Anything to get us out of here, as I see all that looks across the face going, feed me, get me out of here. You'll agree with me, right? But recognizes just because nobody's piping up saying, yeah, I disagree with it, doesn't mean this is that you've got reason, the agreement only because it's the right thing to do. There may be some other reasons behind it. And usually, especially if they're tired of being in the minority or whatever, that's when you get the parking lot conversations going. Yeah, good decision, good decision. Then out in the parking lot, everyone's going, I can't believe they made that decision. What were they thinking? Bottom line is speak up in the meeting. Factors that can impact your decision. How complex is it? Decision style. Do you have guiding principles for making your decisions? What do I mean by that? You got to ask yourself, there's a preliminary filter to put things through. Is it in your mandate? If it's not even in your mandate, why are you talking about it? Is it in the best interest of your stakeholders? Okay. Is it legal? Well, just because it's legal, is it ethical? Does it fit our tolerance of risk? If it's way too risky, but it fills all those other things, you may want to have another look at it before you even making the decision. And I like this one. Do you have budget? Do you have budget to implement it? Okay. I would suggest is if it isn't even running through this filter, why are you making the decision? Because you're not there yet. Okay? Because if you're not covering off these things, like if it's not legal, yeah, I wouldn't be making the decision. Different types of decision making. Most of the time you're dealing with voter-based majority rule. I would suggest if the issue is more complex, you may want to go to more a collaborative or consensus, which is the idea is that it's going to take longer, but you're going to go to people and say, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And try to figure out where's the commonality. Because it's really easy with majority rules, which is, you in favor of it or not? Yes or no? Get on with the program. You tend to go to voting-based decision-making for efficiency. Collaborative means more people are in agreement or can live with the decision. Okay, framework for making decisions. Basically, you're going through a whole bunch of things. You're not going to make decisions in vacuums. You're going to gather information. You're going to take the data and convert it into information, put some meaning to it. And then you're going to figure out what your course of action is. When you're making a decision, where are we in the process? What? So what? Now what? And I'm willing to tell you, most of your staff is going to be doing the work on the what and so what, and you as board members are getting the now what. So what do I mean by the so what? When we're talking about what, this is what do you notice? What are your facts, assumptions, expectations? You're raising awareness. What does this organization think or feel about this particular matter? You're just getting a temperature test. What's the information we start to need guess? So you're gathering information. So what's the reflection? How does this impact house? How does this change what we're doing? You're identifying your interests and relationships and how they are vis-a-vis the information you've gathered. You want to consider your decision in terms of relevance and fit, whether it works for your organization, whether it works for individuals. And the now what is the application. So it's pretty easy. If you're sitting there having a discussion going, what phase are we in? Are we at the what phase where we're still gathering information? If the answer is yes, maybe it needs to go to committee or to staff. But if you've gone past this, the so what is like, what does this mean to us? For most of the part is that staff's coming through with reports saying, here's the issue, here's what it means to us, now what? What do you want us to do? Give us the idea and the action. And having that kind of conversation with the trustees, you know, it's easy to say, sorry, I'm still at the what phase. I'm still trying to process this. Or I'm still having difficulties working with the so what. But basically your decisions are what, so what, now what? And then after you've actually made some decisions, how many times have you ever actually looked and assessed your decisions? You make decisions all the time, but have you ever taken, say, a little pause as a group, as the board, saying, you know what, let's have a look at the decisions we made. And let's assess how well those decisions were made, because if we assess how well they were made, we can figure out what are we doing well, what are we not doing well, and how can we make better decisions based on looking at the decisions we've made. So, did it address the problem or situation? If it didn't address the problem or situation, clearly that was not the decision to make. It didn't do anything for you. Does it align with our values? Because if it didn't align with your values, yeah, you made a decision, but it's going to, you know, that stomach turn. You're going, yeah, this really doesn't feel right. Does it follow our guiding principles? Maybe you want to use the ones I suggested there, but you look at it. What are our principles? If it doesn't fit with the principles, again, it's not going to feel right. Can it be realistically implemented? You can make the best decisions in the world, but if you can't implement it, it's a useless decision. Can you live with the decision? Yeah, it wasn't perfect. But you know what? We can continue on and we can live with that. Is it still valid after 3 months? Or did circumstances change? I think if you looked at your decisions going, what worked, what didn't work? This is just a framework to help you work through what worked, what didn't work for our decisions, and what can we do more of to make good decisions? What can we do less of to reduce those decisions?